Imagine this. It's barely dawn breaking over the misty peaks of the Appalachian Mountains in Virginia, and there I am, Jacob Hawthorne, standing in my worn-out hiking boots, steam rising from my coffee mug as I watch this high-society biotech mogul and her designer ensemble snap a heavy lock onto the gate my grandfather forged decades ago, her lips curled in that smug satisfaction that makes your blood simmer quietly at first, then boil over with the kind of rage that's been building for generations. You know, the type that whispers in your ear about legacies and justice while you clench your fists to keep from exploding right then and there. Victoria Langford. Oh yeah, that's her, humming some tune like she's just won a petty game, chaining up the entrance to my family's Oakwood. How wrong she was. How utterly, devastatingly mistaken. Because sometimes the guy with calluses on his hands and mud on his jeans holds the ace that's been buried in family papers for 70 years. Waiting for a moment like this to unleash hell in the most legal, poetic way imaginable. What would you do if some self-entitled HOA tyrant tried to seal off your ancestors' dreams with a flick of her wrist? And hey, drop in the comments where you're tuning in from, because I bet your corner of the world has its own Victoria Langford lurking in the shadows, scheming to rewrite history for her gain. Let me pull you back, rewind the tape to how this nightmare unfolded, because it all stems from a wise old soul, a simple agreement sealed with trust, and the sort of vision that leaves corporate sharks drowning in their own arrogance. You see, I'm the third in line to steward this haven, Oakwood Haven campsite, nestled in those Virginia hills, where Grandpa snagged 847 acres for a steel back when a dollar stretched further than dreams, and his mantra echoed through time. Boy, when you claim Earth, claim the depths below, the skies above, and every whisper around it. Words that clung to me like roots in soil, especially now, as they became my shield against the storm brewing. This isn't mere land. It's a sanctuary with crystal-clear frontage on Mirror Lake. Which way? Writes Grandpa locked down with ironclad foresight. My father poured his life into this spot for 4 decades, turning it into a beacon where families returned year after year. Kids reeling in their first catch, parents rediscovering silence amid the pines. And when his heart gave out in 2019, it wasn't just acres I inherited, it was the echoes of joy rippling across the water, the weight of preserving that spark for my 17-year-old daughter Emma, who dreams of ecology, and for the memory of my wife Laura, who battled illness with a fire that outshone my own tours in the Gulf, proposing to her under that gnarled maple arching toward the stars, burying her beside kin who carved these cabins from raw wilderness. Her fight lost 3 years back, leaving us to cling to this earth like a lifeline. But reality bites hard. Maintaining this expanse drains wallets dry, taxes slamming us for $18K yearly, plus fixes and floods that strike when you're least armed. Every tent pitch barely keeping us afloat. And then enters Victoria Langford, biotech heiress with a conscience as thin as her patience, sweeping in 2018 to dominate Summit View residences. A glossy enclave of 40 megahomes on the lake's far shore, prices soaring from $800K to millions, boasting exclusive shores and rules stacked like walls against the world. She amassed her wealth from spouting nonsense about elevated living standards, with the straight face of someone blind to their own hypocrisy. I offered olive branches, tweaks to ours, joint efforts on lake health. She was plotting to claim it all, papers already in motion to erase us. By fall 2023, her true colors bled through, a siege of petty assaults, fabricated noise gripes, health probes on our plumbing, fire checks on wiring, each draining hundreds in fees and proofs of innocence. But she wove tales at social haunts, painting us as magnets for trouble, not the haven for stargazers and memory makers. We truly are methodical, yes, but blind to the veteran in me and Emma's inherited grit, who unearthed Victoria's dark past for a class assignment, revealing fortunes built on suffering. Rushed builds skirting eco-laws, violations mirroring her accusations against us. So I countered, reports to agencies with evidence stacks, photos, samples, turning the tide, and a whisper from Inspector Martinez about her hefty donation to Counselor Reynolds's campaign, the very one who greased her permits, exposing not just a foe, but a rigged game. That night on the porch. Chain smoking under stars, Emma echoing Laura's wisdom. When they play foul, outsmart them clean, igniting our pivot from defense to strategy. Weeks later, her surveyors invade, staking claims on my road like conquerors, confusion reigning until her sedan barrels in, that predatory smile flashing, babbling about boundaries and barriers, but my recordings capture her retreat. Threats lingering like smoke. Winter's harsh, Mr. Hawthorne. Yet winter brought her boldest ploy. Papers claiming sole dominion over Mirror Lake. Guards patrolling like sentinels. Riparian supremacy trumping her late grabs, a lesson etched in law. Foundational claims crush flashy bids. While he crafted retorts, Emma's crew sampled waters, revealing her site's filth, erosion, unfiltered dumps, leaching wastes, versus our purity, and Guard Sanchez, a fellow vet, confided orders to sabotage, sending snaps of her shady huddles with officials, plotting eminent domain thefts. Corruption reeking, our data crowning us stewards supreme. She rallied concerned crowds with skewed stats, but I crashed with facts, values boosted by our acclaim, her facade cracking amid silence. And Sanchez's intel peaked as March thawed, her blockade sealing my gate with signs of ownership, her there gloating, safety measures. But surveys proved her folly, my road mine, hers crossing my easement, a twist sweeter than dawn. Yet Emma dug deeper, linking Victoria to Highland Energy Partners, a fracking cabal eyeing our depths, her harassment a veil for eviction and extraction. County whispers confirming her probes into my minerals. The deed's radius enveloped her empire, her homes, her dreams, all atop my treasures. The standoff at the barrier almost tame. Her deputy wavering before my proofs, her fury fleeing in dust, but I let her simmer, plotting revelation as Harold unearthed the claws, minerals mine across miles, her shell firm Langford Pharma. Industry's masking grabs, investments sunk on false grounds, a nugget for all, subsurface splits from surface, check deeds before drilling dreams. The irony burned, a scraping by on gold unseen. Her blind to my hold, evenings at Laura's marker, musing grandpa's genius, assembling allies Emma's eco squad mapping harms. Bets like Sanchez feeding dirt, Harold coordinating law. Retiree Ellis Turner tracing funds through webs of deceit, fraud blooming like weeds. We fortified with cams, rallied townsfolk against invasion, social waves cresting, timing for summer's glare. Late nights strategizing like campaigns, May blooming with her desperation, pumps failing, roads scarred, complaints fabricated, but footage nailed her minions, shared with probes into industry rot. Her buyout bid arrived polished, millions dangled, veiled admissions of bribes and threats recorded legally, her mask slipping, crossing into crime, fueling RICO nets, Emma's data sparking state. Scrutiny, sunset reflections sealing resolve to shatter her. June heated with her final push, state checks rigged by conflicted Inspector Caldwell, tied to her ventures, but I turned it showcase. Allies observing, Emma dazzling with proofs, flipping scrutiny to her sins, my deed dropping like thunder, his alliances exposed, chaos erupting as seizures hit her offices, her arrival met with arrests brewing, media feasting on her cracks. July 15th dawned electric. The council hall crammed with fury and flashbulbs, environmental warriors and rights fighters converging, feds poised like hawks. Victoria striding in late, armored in denial. But as Chairman Ellis gavelled order, I rose with the deed, Emma's visuals damning her eco-crimes, gasps rising, her interruptions drowned by my playback of threats and bribes, silence thundering, FBI stepping in, then the mineral bomb. Her world imploding amid uproars, arrests clicking, permits yanked, applause roaring like victory's anthem. August sealed fates. Victoria pleading to racketeering and eco-sins. 18 months caged. Fines crushing. Her partners scattering. Caldwell jailed. Counselor Reynolds toppled, but triumph bloomed. Brighter, revenues funding Laura's Eco Center, Emma's lab thriving, scholarships flowing, festivals uniting. Even her reformed enclave partnering in healing, precedents set, laws born. My mornings now serene, planning preservation, docs capturing our stand, Emma inspiring youth, the lake reborn, families thriving in harmony proved possible. And as I sit here, coffee in hand, watching ripples on Mirror Lake, knowing we turned injustice to legacy, its closure wrapped in peace, a testament to family bonds unbreakable, revenge served through truth, not venom, proving that when the underdog rises with heart and history, giants fall hard. But tell me, was this justice pure, or does victory blur moral lines when payback tastes so sweet? Drop your thoughts below on right versus wrong in battles like these, because in the end, where do you draw the line between defense and dominance?